Morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I haven't streamed in a while, so I'm not even sure if everything is still working like it should, but it seems to be. But let me know if you can't. Hi, Kelly, in Coloring a Latte. I like that name, by the way. That's cute. So, today we are going to do some coloring in Johanna Basford's latest and greatest. I know not everyone has this book yet, even in the US. It is available in the US, but I know not everyone has gotten it yet. It came out on the 22nd, 23rd? I don't know. Someday this this past week. But it's Magical Worlds. And I did do a flip through of this one, and then I decided I was going to color in it because while I was flipping through, I came across this pumpkin page, and I thought it would be a pretty good one for fall. So yeah, that is what we're going to color today. I did put a poll out for pencils and what pencils people wanted to see. And I had originally thought Polychromos was going to win because it was winning at the time, but then when I checked this morning, it was Prisma. So I know not everyone wants to learn Prisma, but I sure do love Prisma, so I'm not going to say I'm upset that one won. But the good news is any color combinations I use, keep in mind you can always use a conversion chart. So my Colorful Country Life has a conversion chart out there, so you can use the Polychromos or Arctics or whatever equivalent to the Prismacolor pencils I'm using. So keep that in mind. I know not everyone wanted to see Prismas, but I did do the poll and Prismas won. And yeah, so we're going to color the pumpkin page. And then also today during the live stream, one person will win a copy of this book. But it'll only be in the live stream, not after the stream. And I'll go over the rules later. Hi, PJB. Ooh, a class. What's the class for? There's no worries about that. Enjoy your class. So I have a bunch of pumpkin pages. Last year, card making. We'll have fun with that. So last year I had started this project and then I got that new job and my life basically ended, well, my coloring life. However, I did actually make all those pumpkin combinations. I'm going to put this up on my Ko-fi next week. I'm working on the video for this. However, I was like, oh, well, what combo do I want to use for my pumpkin page? So I have like a bunch of traditional orange ones, green ones. I have some purple and pinks. And then I had started working on some blues and even whites. But I'm actually going to do a pink pumpkin because I've been coloring more lately and I'm kind of over the orange pumpkins. So I'm actually going to use this combo here and do this pumpkin. In a larger scale, it'll be a little different. And I am adding one extra color to that combo. But I will show you guys the combos. And then, yeah, this should be up on my Ko-fi next week with all of these. I don't think I'll add many more combos for the other colors, just because this is kind of a starting point. But I did fill out all the oranges and the greens for you guys because that was the main point of it. The other colors were just for fun. But I think this page will be fun. And the reason I didn't want to do an orange pumpkin was because for some reason I just looked at it and pictured a pink one. I don't know. It's coloring. It doesn't have to be a freaking orange pumpkin. So using that combo from my page, these are the original colors for that combo. But like I said, I'm going to add one more. But if you have Prisma, you can follow along with these colors. If you don't, just use a conversion chart and get as close to it as you can, or just the gist of it, really. Because we have kind of two pinks, two light greens, and then a cream color, which is in any set you have. But I'm using pink, blush pink, sap green light, pale sage, and cream. But then I've also grabbed my mulberry. And the reason for that is because this is a bigger pumpkin. So there's going to be some areas where I want just a little bit more of a darker color. So that's why I went with that route. And then I've also pulled out my Deco Yellow, not for the pumpkin per se, but I need to mark off where I want this little yellow glow right here for my lantern. I wish there wasn't a lantern there, or at least not a lit one. I'm half tempted to erase these lines, but I'm going to roll with it. It's fine. So yeah, we will be working on that. I'm going to start with coloring the pumpkin itself because that is what drew me to the page. People usually ask me what makes me start a coloring page, or how do I start a coloring page, or pick one. It's usually whatever object jumps out at me first. That's what I color first, and then I go from there. And that's what jumped out at me first on this was the pumpkin itself, just the pumpkin house. So coloring the pumpkin house first. Hi to everyone who entered if I didn't say hi. So yeah, let's get coloring because we have a big pumpkin to color. But I'm going to start here with my mulberry. Maybe. And I might zoom you guys in. It's just, I always forget to zoom or like to check and make sure I'm out. Let me zoom in just a little though, because this is too far out. Took me forever to set up this morning. There we go. I mean, I want you guys to be able to see me actually color. So if you want to see the flip through, that's on my channel. I don't want to flip through during the live stream. All right, I'm taking my mulberry here. Oh, I can't hold all these pencils in my hand. I'm out of practice. All right, so I'm going to start with my mulberry and add that in. Hi, Christine. Oh, welcome. First time. And Melissa. All right, so we got our mulberry. And like I said, this is an addition to that color combo. Because I knew this was a really big pumpkin. But I don't want it to, like the mulberry is not going to take over as much as it looks like it right now. It's more just for added shading. So I don't know how many actually bought this book or if you've just been kind of waiting. The price might go down, although it's priced pretty close to what they normally are. So I don't see it dropping much. But it's interesting. There's a lot of mixed reviews on it. It's kind of like one of those books where people seem to either love it or hate it. So I found that kind of interesting. But I get why some people feel like it looks the same, but this is just Johanna's style. So like to me, I don't feel like it's a repeat of past books. It's just her style, and her style is so signature. You could spot it a mile away, and that kind of makes it seem like sometimes her pages are, just repeats of something else, but it's not. It's just the way she draws. So, but I can see how some people feel like, there's just not enough, variation or anything new feeling to it. I get it. I don't take it personally, and I'm sure she doesn't either. All right, so now I'm grabbing my pink. These back ones here are going to be a little darker because obviously they're not really in the light. They're hanging out here in the back. I do like how Prismas work on the paper. I like how Prismas work on all paper though, so I'm a little biased. But I do like it on this paper. This is the US edition. I didn't even look at the UK edition this year, but normally theirs is just a little bit different paper-wise. Not anything drastic. But yeah. I do love Prismas on this paper. Polys still work great too. My ink tints as well, though I actually don't like to use ink tints in Johanna books a lot. All right, blush pink. Yeah, it is a smooth paper, so that's one of the reasons I like them on there. Although I like Prismas on not smooth paper because Prismas are just so creamy. They work on owl paper. They're my versatile. what have you. All right, now I've got my sap green light. And just a special little note when you're blending greens into pinks, and especially pinks that are verging on purple, like that mulberry, be aware of what you're doing because you can accidentally create an ugly little color. Just don't go crazy with it. But yeah, I do like this book. I think it's pretty cute. Would I say it's my favorite out of all of hers? No. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's up there. What did I say? Ivy and the Inky Butterfly is definitely my fave. Number one. This is Pale Sage, by the way. And then Rooms of Wonder, I would have to say, is second. And then this is probably third, but it may slip or slide depending on the more I play around and color the pages. But I have been enjoying her books. The little, the smaller one she came out with, the Small Victories, that one was great and all, but wasn't like in a top 5 for me. All right. And I probably will use a blender pencil because I'm lazy and I don't like to sit here and layer. In fact, this is about the only time you're going to see me do light layers, is just because I was testing the mulberry. Other than that, you're going to see me smoosh prismas together the way I like to use them. I'm just going back over now with my pink and stuff and kind of defining some of these colors. I do want these ones back here darker. Darker because my light is right up front. That's how I'm playing the game today. And then I do have Nightbot on. We'll see if Nightbot behaves. I can't even remember the last time I streamed because I had a whole stint of scheduling streams and then rescheduling streams. Ugh, it's been a crazy couple months. I need to do a whip-in chat, but I've been doing whip-in chats on my diamond painting channel. I just haven't done one lately, but it's just been a little bit busy around here. I'm just trying to get a grip on things. Ever have those weeks or I should say months, because that's how it is. Months where you're just like, okay, next week will be better. I'll be totally on schedule. Because my whole theory was when the kids go to school, everything will calm down. They went to school, nothing calmed down. Sap green light. So yeah, it's just been kind of like this nonstop. I'm like, yeah, next week will be better. Next week. And then all of a sudden it's like 3 months later. So what you gonna do? But I've been staying busy with my Etsy store for now. We'll see. And then I am almost done with my book. I just got the cover back from my designer. So it's supposed to publish by November 1st. That was the date I set. So it's going to publish that day. So I'm doing a lot of last minute like fine tuning. It's like the crazy home stretch. But I did get the cover this morning, actually, just before I started streaming. And I was like, ooh, I like this. So even if the color along is with Prismas, you can always use a conversion chart and use the same color combos I'm using and technique and just use the pencil you prefer to use. Just because it's Prismas, don't think you can't learn anything. You're still getting a combo, and Polychromos, Arctics, all of them have colors similar enough to where you could totally do this combination. And then I always color dark to light. So even if I was coloring today with Polychromos, I would be doing dark to light anyway. So just keep that in mind. I know like sometimes people want to see this specific pencil, but Prisma did win when I put it in the community tab to see what people wanted to see. And Prisma won that one. It was almost Polly's. It was Polly's for like a little bit there, and then out of nowhere Prisma jumped up. But I will admit Prisma is nice on this paper, and I think that's probably why you're seeing a lot of tutorials on this paper, just it feels better on here. I don't know. I do need to mark off. I'm just taking my Deco yellow very lightly and just kind of marking off where I want this glow to be. This is by no means final, but then while I'm coloring my pumpkin, I don't accidentally forget about it. Because that is something I tend to do, and then I have to go in and erase it. I'm like, ah, shoot. The rules for the stream. I don't have a lot of rules in my stream other than just, be nice. I don't put a lot of restrictions on. The only thing is you just got to be kind and nice, and that's it. No spam, of course. And if I don't respond to your question right away, one of my mods will eventually catch my attention. It's just when I'm looking down and coloring, it's hard to do that sometimes. Oh, hey, May. I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see. I'm trying to look. Oh, through Emily's channel. Well, welcome. So I'm just taking my mulberry here, adding some darker areas where I want it to be. I love mulberry. It's such a pretty color. Oops, off camera. Markers and pencils. I have the one paper I use for markers, but if you're doing like marker pencil combo, depends if you want any tooth to it. But if you have tooth, that kind of screws with your markers. But like the Nina cardstock that I use when I'm just using pencils works pretty well if you do like a marker base with it. The only thing is it won't stay wet as long as it does with the paper I use solely for markers. So you would have to blend it a little quicker. But that one Nina cardstock I like to use for pencils is very smooth. I don't like toothy paper. I'm not a toothy gal. Let's see here. Oh, no, you're fine. If I try to look up at the questions, it's just hard because when I look down to color and then I look back up, chat usually moves pretty quickly. And so that's what happens. Oh, yeah, there's the conversion chart. That will help. So if you want to follow along with a non-Prisma, by the way, this is pink now. You can just find a color from the pencils you have that are close enough and go from there. And kudos to those who make conversion charts. One time I was asked, and then I remember Karen from My Colorful Country Life did it, and I was like, no, she's got it. I don't want to do it. And hers is super in-depth, like very good. So yeah, just go look at hers. It's great. I don't know how she had the patience to do that. I would have given up like 20 minutes in. I can only go so far. Plus, I really like my Prismas, so to sit there and like play with other pencils, I'd be like, no. But I am a Prisma gal, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's my favorite pencil. I know it's a love or hate pencil as well. It's kind of funny how that is. You'll get people who either really love their Prismas like me and are just obsessed, and then you get those people that just really hate those Prismas. It's not one of those ones where you get anyone in the middle. I feel you, May. I was not coloring for quite a while. I was doing just nothing but diamond painting because I was just, I don't know. You go through those things where, coloring relaxes you, but I think also sometimes having a YouTube channel for coloring creates pressure. You're like, oh, I need to color for my channel. So you're no longer coloring for yourself sometimes. But then also there's just days you don't feel like coloring, but then again, you have a channel, so you feel guilty. You're like, oh, I have to color. I have a channel. But I started getting really into diamond painting because it's just so mindless. I can just kind of zone out, and my coloring kind of took the back seat. But the last month or two, I've been actually coloring quite a bit. I actually started going through pencils again. And by pencils, I mean my Prismas. Just adding my color where I kind of want, because it's going to be a cute splotchy looking little color. I mean, it comes and goes. There's times where I really want to do like diamond painting, and then there's days where I'm like, oh, I want to sit down and color. But actually, I need my pink again. It just depends, I guess, on my mood. I like to listen to audiobooks while I diamond paint, because I can't really listen to TV or watch TV in the background while I diamond paint. I tried, but I can't do it for some reason. And then when it comes to coloring, I prefer to listen to TV. Sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks. I don't know, but I'm really into audiobooks right now, so I tend to do more diamond painting. And like I said, diamond painting is a little bit more mindless for me, because with coloring, I'm always thinking of like a combo or shading. I don't know. There's extra things I got to think about. Okay, so now I'm using my blush pink. I'm just kind of putting this in here. Where's my thing at? I might add my green first. In fact, I am going to add my green spots real quick. So I'm going to grab my sap green light, and we're going to put some green here. And by the way, if you are coloring along, you do not need to place your colors exactly where I am. It's a pumpkin. Pumpkins aren't universally colored to look the same. So feel free to kind of mix and match your colors where you want on the page. You don't have to follow me verbatim. It's just kind of me adding my green where I want it before I start adding more pink. My little pastel pumpkin. Yeah, I'll put some up here too. This one, my sap green light's a little scratchy on the paper. I don't mind it though. It's not like super scratchy. If it was like some other brands, I'd be cringing right about now. All right, I'm going to bring this color in right here too. Yeah, so the pumpkin, not the pumpkin giveaway. The book giveaway is going to be for those located in the US only, and only during the live stream. So once the live stream's over, there will be no giveaway. This is my pale sage now. So once the live stream's over, there will be no more giveaway, but it'll be for US residents only. I know I can get it in the UK and all that, but just the cost and whatnot right now, I can only give away to the US. So I do apologize, but I usually try to balance it out with a digital giveaway of some kind down the road. But yeah, it'll be for US residents only, or you have to at least be able to receive a shipment from Amazon US. Let me phrase it that way. Maybe that's better. But I'll get into the rules and spiel of all that when it's closer to drawing a winner. And let's hope and cross our fingers that Nightbot has fixed whatever freaking thing it had going on last time I streamed and kept picking people who didn't really enter, because that was really obnoxious. And I haven't seen it do it to anyone else. So it's like Nightbot and I are just in a constant battle these days. All right, so now I've got my cream. Just going to kind of bring this into a few places, and then I'll go back to my pinks. Because I'm going to actually bleed some of my pinks back in. But I want to get some of my lighter areas mapped out real quick. It's going to be like a pastelish pumpkin. The little ones down here will be a little darker. Okay. How many different pencil brands have I tried? A lot. You could look at my pencil collection video. I haven't done one for 2024, so I probably should do that. This is blush pink, by the way. But yeah, I have quite a few sets of pencils, and I've used all of them. And then that's not including all the watercolor pencils. That's just regular pencils. I've used a lot of pencils. I used to do a lot of reviews. It's just I hadn't had time over the while, but I plan to get back to those. But yes, I have used a lot of brands. I have some of my favorites that are like budget friendly. I have, of course, my favorites that aren't budget friendly, but hey, I can't help what I love. And then I do have some pencils I love. I just don't use them a lot because they're expensive, like my Lumis and Derwent Lightfast. I love those pencils, but I tend to save those for portraits. Never in a coloring book. It's usually printed portraits and then things that I plan to like frame and put on the wall in my art studio kind of thing with that brand. Just because, well, hello. Replacing a Lumi. Ugh. I could get a Starbucks drink. All right, let's get some pink down here. Okay. For the leaves, I have not decided yet. So, like I said, when I started or when I picked this page, how I start a page is I start coloring the element that drew me to the page, and that was the pumpkin. And for some reason, I knew I wanted it to be a pink pumpkin. So that's that's where I went with it. And then the leaves, I'll go from there. But most likely the leaves are going to be greens and purples, I'm thinking. However, I may change my mind on that. I'm not really locked into it. So we'll see. And hi, everyone that may have just come in and I might have missed. Let's see. I'm hoping, I'm just checking the giveaway bot to make sure it's actually making or picking eligible people. It looks like it is. We'll see if it sticks to it. All right, now we're back to our mulberry. And then usually if I use a blender with Prismacolor, where are my blenders? I've usually use, hang on, I gotta open the blender drawer. So I'll usually either use my Splendor blender, which is actually my favorite for Prisma. Shannon! I haven't talked to you in forever, Shannon. We have a lot to catch up on. So I usually use my Splendor blender for Prismacolor or my Caran d'Ache blender. Those are my two go-tos for Prisma. To each their own. I just prefer those two. I love the Splendor blender. And I'm not going to lie, half of the reason I like Splendor blender is because of the fact that it is a name that's fun to say. Come on. Tell me you don't want to sit there and just say Splendor blender. It's just so fun. Love it. Brings me joy. I get kicks out of the silliest little things, though, so if you're new to my channel, you'll figure that out fast. All right, we're just adding some mold. Little shell. I didn't even notice that the first time I was looking at it. Interesting. All right, so now we're taking our pink again. I'm going to use a little bit heavier pressure now because I want to be able to smoosh my colors. You don't have to use heavy pressure with Prisma. You can layer to your heart's content. I color dark to light and I try to avoid layering at all costs, but that's just me. Even with pencils that you should layer with, I avoid layering them just so you have a plane of reference there. If I can find a way to reduce the layers, I do. But the only time you'll catch me layering stuff is when I'm doing skin tones and stuff like that. But that's because you can't really skip that part. And then I guess coloring. Those are about the two exceptions to my rule. Other than that, I'm like, can I get this done with just one layer? All right. I know some people layer just because it's relaxing to them, and I could totally see how it is, but I am like the most impatient colorist ever. And I always joke I should have named my channel that, because if there's a way to get around it, I'm going to. All right. Hi, Mona. So we're still finalizing the title of the book. My cover designer. I feel so bad. I made him design it, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like the name. Let's fix that. Once you see it on a cover design, then you're like, yeah, never mind. I changed my mind. So I'll let you know once we finalize that. But he did send the proofs over, and I'm digging it so far. I was originally going to design it myself, and I even sent it to a few friends, and I'm like, what do you think? And yeah. I don't know. Then I was just like, I'm going to go on Fiverr and hire a professional because I'm not a designer. So, and he's doing like a stellar job, but he's creating the cover for the ebook, but also printed version in case someone wants to order the print and not do Kindle. And then unfortunately, I can't do the audiobook until the printed one is released on Amazon. And then usually it's like 1 to 3 months after that the audiobook would release. So that's the one bummer. But there will be an audio version eventually. All right. Just add more pinks. Pinks and pinks. This is actually one of my favorite combos, not just for pumpkins. I use this combo for a lot of things. It's a repurposed combo. I am not going to do the audio because I will giggle. I will straight up giggle if I had to read half the lines I wrote in that book. So nope, I am going to actually go on to the marketplace because I want my book read in duet. So I'm going to put it on the marketplace. There's a marketplace. Authors can send their books, and then you can get voice actors to play it out. But mine will be read in duet because I like it that way. So yeah. Plus, I could never do the male voice. Nope. I wouldn't do it justice. It would be awful. So nope, I'll be hiring voice actors for that one. And like I said, I'd just be giggling or stuttering nervously. Basically, it would be a train wreck. So that's just not going to work out. I'm going to hire those people that do this for a living. All right. Yes, I am using a pen name. I actually have a pen name that I've always had, but that has been reserved as my baby for fantasy books, and I refuse to use it for these books, so I will not be using that one. I'm using a new one I have, but it will be under a pen name, yes. Trying to make sure I stay on camera. That's the problem. If I zoom in, I've got to constantly keep an eye. Okay. Yes, it is a romance book. I have dove into the romance genre, which is actually really fun to write. It's incredibly fun to write. They're actually fun to read too. I had to read a ton as research. That's what I told my husband as I'm reading a new romance novel every 3 days. But yeah, they're actually pretty fun to write. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to work on fantasy, and fantasy is a lot harder because you have so much world building and history building and magic system. I mean, there's so much you got to work on. Whereas this, like romance, you're like, wow, I've taken away like half the work right now. Not saying it's like super easy, but it's just they're fun and a little less stressful, I guess, sort of. I don't know. It's never not stressful. It still stresses you out because you're kind of vulnerable putting yourself out there with a book published. And I won't lie, I may or may not announce when it actually releases for a little while and just let it kind of float out there in the Amazon abyss. Because releasing a book is kind of nerve-wracking. And it's one of the reasons it's taken me this long to get this far because I keep chickening out. So I may or may not release the title to everyone until it's been a little bit, and I've grown comfortable with being that exposed to the world. So just letting you know ahead of time. Because sometimes you need to just let it go out there and not worry about it. Gosh, the fantasy names and all that. So I do have some readers lined up. I need some more, but I have been so swamped with last minute changes because I changed from one trope to another. And then I decided I didn't like that and I wanted to go back to my old trope. And so it required me to rewrite a book that I had just rewritten. So yeah, I'm a little behind on that, but I do need to get some ARC readers. More ARC readers, I should say. All right, we're on with pink. So you can shoot me an email. Certain, like to read before it's published, you'll be signing an NDA, of course, if you're part of the beta readers, but I already have probably enough beta readers right now. I don't know. I may add a couple if they want to do some last minute beta reading, but the thing is I'm kind of running low on time. So we'll see about that. But you can shoot me an email. I am working on the second book in this series anyways, so I'll still have a need later. All right. Yes, I know. I kept meaning to message Shannon to read, and then I just got slammed. So it's been crazy. You're an expert. All right, this is Mulberry. I keep forgetting to tell you guys when I swap colors. I think with tell what color it is, but with others, It's kind of hard to tell. All right. Try not to cover up these little vines. I don't want this pumpkin to take up the entire stream, but at the same time, I don't want to have to go back and redo it. All right, so I'm back to my pink. I don't know why, but when I saw this, I just wanted a pink pumpkin. I don't know if anyone else has seen this page or what they pictured, but I just instantly knew it had to be a pink pumpkin. It was just like calling to me. Maybe because it's just so whimsical and cute. And I'm like, I can't just make it an orange pumpkin. It needs to be pink. All right. Well, shoot me a message, Mona. Send me a message. Like I said, I need more. So what I had done, because I kept dilly-dallying with my book, is I sat down and I was like, okay, this is going to be the release date, and that's just it. Because if you don't set a date, it almost gives you an excuse to be like, nope, it's just not good enough. So I've kind of hit that point where I've set the date, and that's the date it's going to move along. I agree. You can never go wrong with pink. It's always a good color. Yeah, sorry, I guess we should have probably clarified on that. So there's a thing with beta readers and then there's ARC readers. So beta readers are technically the ones that read before it's ready to publish, whereas ARC readers are the ones who read it and it's ready to publish or it's going to publish, but they're just getting in advance, like so they can read it ahead of time. A lot of people will do it so that the ARC reader can come out with a review the day the book publishes. There's many reasons to do it. But like you usually have alpha and beta readers, and then you have your ARC readers. So that's what those are. And sometimes people will use their ARC readers as like kind of beta readers as well. But it just kind of depends on the relationship you have with that reading group. Like if you want your beta readers to also be your ARC readers, it just depends. But usually with ARC readers, those are the ones that are people who read a lot of those books or like have blogs, and they can kind of like give a little bit of insight for those interested in buying the book or reading it down the road kind of thing. So yeah, and beta readers are good because they can kind of help you catch things, or like, because when you're writing a book, you're not writing it all in one day. And often you step away, or you'll like forget that you mentioned something in chapter 1, and then you'll go to say it in chapter like 50 and be like, crapola, I didn't know I already said that. So yeah, beta readers are great because they help you catch those last minute things. In fact, the beta readers I have on it right now, because I'm doing like some final edits and putting the chapters up for them to read. They've cut like a couple things for me. And then there's like, I'm going to have to spend 2 days just reading through the whole book once more and cut a few things. So that'll be interesting. No one wants to chop up their baby. That's how you feel, but it's like you have to. You're like, nope, this just doesn't fit. You got to cut it out. Ah. This is cream. Yeah, well, with beta readers, they've got to give their honest opinion. They're not doing you any favors by holding back, because then they might say, "Oh, it's great," but then like it releases and you're like, "Oh, well, this part kind of sucked. I wish I would have known about that." So yeah, anyone I have as my beta reader, I've been pretty like, "Okay, I need you to be honest." Like not rude, but just be like, "Hey, this part doesn't make sense," or "This needs a little tweaking," or whatever, because that's the point. Doo, doo, doo. It is kind of interesting because I do have, what, 4 beta readers right now, and their opinions are all so different, which is good because obviously we all like read and interpret books differently. So it's kind of fun just to see the different perspectives. Oh yeah, definitely no need to be rude, just honest. There's a difference between being rude and honest. I mean, because it is someone's like life and soul poured in there. It would suck if they're like, "Wow, this sucks." Like, well, that really helped my ego. Thanks. By the way, this is pink. I mean, you get enough harsh reviews on Amazon. You don't need your beta readers doing that. What's funny is I actually have 2 beta readers who are male. So it's been fun to get their perspective. And there's a reason I did that, but I'm not going to divulge why. It's my trade secret. All right. Hi, everyone. To anyone I missed, sorry. We've been all book chatty. We're not even talking about the coloring book, which we probably should do, but whatever. This one like actually came on time. Well, most of my pre-orders come on time, but it came early enough I was able to actually film it and release it on release day. So I felt like that was the first ever, because normally they show up at like 6 or 7, and by then I'm like, well, I'll film it later. All right, so now I'm on my sap green light. Again, if you're coloring along, you do not have to place your color exactly where I am. I'm just honestly placing it wherever I feel like putting it down. Like, you know what? Green would look good here. That's kind of my thought process. You will notice the green tends to be a little bit more where there's highlights, but that's not necessarily the only reason I'm doing it. So just wanted to make that clear. Let's see. Definitely don't know if I'll do like a light green leaf. Originally, I thought that would be cute, but it might blend in too much with the green on my pumpkin. Oh, hang on, my darn thing popped up on my screen. Yeah, if you're gonna lurk, you just can say you're lurking. It's no big deal. And then when we get to the giveaway, I'll explain the rules and whatnot for that. But yeah, there's no lurking command. I have honestly been too lazy to learn much about Nightbot more than I have to. I'm just like, yep, bare minimum. So I don't even have half the commands I could have set up. All right, now I'm on my pale sage. And I'll probably go back through and add some more pink here and there, but I kind of want to just see where this goes first. Pale sage and sap green light are like one of my favorite green combos. grabbing my cream. Cream is like one of my favorite from Prisma. I haven't found another brand quite like this cream. I really like their cream color. There's something about it. It's just like the perfect cream color. And yes, that could be my bias for Prisma. I don't know. But with other brands, like anything that they've had close, it's just not quite there. I don't know. All right. I'm going to color this little guy so that I'm not smushing it with my hand. So I'm using my mulberry. And we'll make sure I'm on camera. I'm sorry, my hand is in the way, but totally forgot to angle my camera. All right. Then let's grab. Hi, Sky. Welcome to your first. Okay, so now I got my pink. Just add it here and there. These little pumpkins are so cute. And I'm not going like all, it's not going to be like a full pastel page either. I definitely want the leaves to stand out. Have some more punches of color. I don't know. I've got sort of a vision, but not really. All I knew for sure was the pumpkin color. From there, we'll see. All right, now I got my blush pink. I'm going to add here and there. Okay. Just heard a really loud slam in my house, but I don't know what that was. All right, now I've got my sap green light. Put this towards the back here. Such a pretty color. I remember one of my favorite leaf combos was Kelly Green, Sap Green Light, and Cream. And that's literally all I used for months. That's kind of overkill, but whatever. It's fine. All right. Pale Sage. I'm just going to add that here and there. And then my cream. And if you want, you can use cream as your blender and just kind of go over everything. But I'm probably going to use my blender pencils. But I'm not going to blend anything because I'll probably go back through and like adjust after I've colored. Because see, like right here, this little guy is like kind of blending into this one. So I still want to add some color back here. So I'm not going to blend anything out yet. Because even like up here, I might like add a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to right now with my pink, bring this out a little. Because it feels like it's just kind of jutting there. All right. All right. Maybe I'm still going to add some more, I think. But let's keep going and we'll see. Got to adjust the page behind here. Oh, real quick, I will type in, oops, if I can. Okay, so I put my address there. I'll pin it. If you want to be a beta reader or an ARC reader. If you're going to be an ARC reader, though, you need to have some sort of experience being an ARC reader. Same thing with beta reading, but just keep in mind it is a romance genre. So if you don't read romance, it's not the best thing for you. But also you have to really enjoy reading. So email me if you're interested, and then I can go over the details with you on that. All right, so I got my mulberry. But I am pretty picky with the beta readers, and then even more so with ARC readers for obvious reasons. All right. Okay. Your copy's in another state, like it got lost in another state, or just the shipping is delayed? Because I know they have like all those storms and stuff going on now. And then USPS's tracking system has been down for like days. It's annoying me. You go to click on it and pick a a number, and it says our tracking system's down. I'm like, okay, well, kind of need to know where I'm going. All right. So let's see. I think the choices. I'm trying to turn the page so I can keep my hand out of your guys' way as best as possible and stay on camera. I wish I could say live streaming is like riding a bike and you just pick it back up easy peasy, but it's not for me. I need to quit taking really long breaks. That's the lesson here. All right. We'll put some down here. Yeah, for now. Okay. And then I got my pink. Oh, he brought it home. That's funny. And if my husband took my book, I would have been like, hey, what the heck? All right, so this is my pink. These days, I don't have as many Amazon packages arriving at my door. It's been kind of nice because I just don't have much to buy anymore for like coloring. So I remember back in the day, though, there would just be like tons. And now I'm sitting here like, okay, how can I declutter all of this? Because you eventually get to a point where you know what pencils you like, what pencils you're never going to use. And I don't want to collect pencils for the sake of collecting. Like I do my collection videos and stuff, but those always just remind me of how many pencils I have that don't get used. I mean, I have some that have sat for easily over a year, not touched, and I hate that. Like my more expensive ones have a reason for sitting there untouched, but there's some that are cheaper and I don't use them anymore, or I have no need, or just don't want to. And not that they're bad pencils, they just don't work with my coloring style, or I just don't feel like using them. I don't know, but yeah, I have a lot of pencils I need to destash. And then I even have a few more expensive sets I never use that I need to destash as well. All right. The little pumpkin house. It's going to be the pink pumpkin house. I've always enjoyed like pinks and purples for fall. So like for my Etsy store, my packing tape is all pinks. It's like pink pumpkins. Where the inspiration came from now that I think of it, because I designed my tape and they're all pink pumpkins and leaves. And then my December limited Christmas box is actually going to be pink and light blues. It's going to be so fun. You don't have to have red and green for Christmas. Okay. It's just kind of random. Just trying to make sure I have enough pink on there. All right. I've got my blush pink out now. It's just a touch lighter than the pink, but it's a good one to transition from, especially if you're going to start going into that green color because it is lighter. And the blush pink blends a little bit better with these greens I have. It doesn't give off that icky color vibe. So it's good to put down if you know like certain areas will have that green. All right, let's see. Okay. Hey, look, I've almost finished the pumpkin in an hour. That's actually impressive for me. It's a big pumpkin. Like I said, I'll have to go back and add some more here and there, but I don't want to be the whole stream to be coloring a pumpkin. That's kind of what happens sometimes when the biggest object is what you go to color first. So can only avoid it so much. All right. Okay. Let's see. The ad scared you? Let's see. It was pencil ASMR and then a woman screaming. What? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to rewatch it on. I wonder if you do the replay, do the same ads play on the replay? I wonder. I'll have to watch it back. I want to see this. ASMR screaming. Interesting. All right, I got my sap green light. Yeah, we don't get all the same ads either because they are targeted by numerous factors. Google is stalking you. But I really want to see if I could see that ad. I gave up a long time ago getting creeped out that Google was stalking me, and Facebook and any social media account you get on. You're like, hey, I was just talking about that. And look, now there's an ad for it. Weird. It's just going to happen. And I wasn't even talking about it like on that app. So there you go. It's not weird at all. Let's go up here. Can't believe Halloween is next week. I got all my kids their costume. My oldest, obviously, he doesn't wear anything. He's a teenage boy. It's not cool now. But my two that still dress up, I've got their costumes. I am so like behind. I haven't even decorated my porch for Halloween, and I normally do that October 1st. And I was like, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But now I feel like, what, I'm going to decorate it for 4 days? So I might just put up my general fall decorations, which normally go up September 1st. So yeah, I'm behind. All right. Okay, Pale Sage. I keep saying Sap Green Light, but it's not. The other one was Sap Green Light. We got our pink little pumpkin. I shouldn't call it little, it's a house, so a 2-story house at that. Maybe 3 now? 2? I don't know. It's kind of a little wacky. Now the question is, do little mice live in this house? She didn't really put any little characters in this one. All right. Almost done with the first round. But I'll leave the first round as is so I can move on to like other elements probably. Like I said, I don't want to sit here and color a pumpkin for the whole stream. All right, let me grab my cream. Hi, Brooke. All right, where was that spot? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I already see a few spots where I want to adjust some of the colors, but I can wait. Color a few other things. And then I have a few spots I just noticed there's a big old gap. Whoopsie. I actually might do like a violet or maybe even a periwinkle sky. I'm not sure though. It's hard to say on that one. Like I said, I'm not going for pastel colors. I just wanted the house a little bit lighter. And for some reason, a pink house. Like I literally just pictured it as a pink pumpkin the second I saw it. All right. Now I'm going to color just the 2 little guys. So I got my mulberry out. My stomach is growling. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but I have been craving nothing but like cinnamon rolls. And I blame my neighbor. She made cinnamon rolls from scratch and brought them over. And now I'm like, I need more. And I am way too lazy to make them myself. Okay, so we got our pink out. And then I don't know if anyone's ever had that apple croissant from Starbucks. Ugh, I need to make that myself here at the house because it's not that hard. It's just basically a little apple pie, but man, that thing is so tasty. I love it. But every time I buy it, I'm like, I can't believe I just spent money on this thing. It's stupid expensive. All right, and then we got blush pink. I'll put that there. So I went back and started watching Bridgerton because I never finished the 3rd season. By the way, this is Sap Green Light. So I started over from the beginning because season 1's my favorite and always will be. Sorry, it's my fave. But I'm on to season 2 again. And I only watched season 2 once, so I honestly don't remember it. So it's like watching it for the first time. But I was so excited when they said that Colin's story is coming out for season 4 because I was like, finally, because it's my favorite book. But anyone who watches Bridgerton, is anyone else really, really upset that they took away Michael Sterling? Like, I was so mad. I was about to quit Bridgerton altogether. Like, because that book, I don't know if you've read the Bridgerton books. You kind of have to or should. But my favorite one out of all of them was the one with Michael Sterling. I loved it. So the fact that they took his character away, I like legit was crying like a baby. And then my second favorite is Benedict's story, the whole Cinderella thing. So I'm glad they're doing that one next, but I really hope they don't foobar that one or I'm done. I will lose it because I was really, really mad that they took away my favorite character. Because ever since they started making that show, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see the Michael Sterling character. And then what'd they do? No. They straight up just changed it all up. Ugh. It was so sad, so sad. And it's funny, I kind of laugh when you get on social media and there's all these petitions, and I'm like, they're not going to change it now. It's too late. They already threw it out there. Gotta roll with it. But I was just so tied to that darn book. It was a tragedy. All right, so we got some pumpkins. See, even though that mulberry is actually darker on here, like when you kind of spread it out, it's not as bad. But if I was doing like because this is the combo I'm using, I could make it a lot lighter, but I'm not going to color any more of the pumpkin yet, just because I want to work on some other things. Oh, leaves, actually. Or maybe the stones. Stones would be a good foundation so that I can debate on my leaves. Because I'm debating between... I'm already thinking I don't like the idea of purple leaves. But I don't know. That could change. Either that or a darker... Ooh. Actually, I might do a dark green and blue leaf. Okay, we're going to do stonework while I think on that. That's what we're going to do. So let's see. Let's grab some color. Probably going to aim for, I normally do French grays, but I think, well, you know what? No, I'm going to do warm grays, but I'm going to add some greens. In fact, I'm going to be adding my sap green back in there and my cream that we already used. Stonework. And then let me grab some of my warm grays because I think that's what I want to go. So let's get some. Oops, sorry. Hi, camera. Let's just smack you out of the way. All right, let's warm grays. Not too many. Even though I do like my French grays, I just don't feel like they're gonna do what I want here. Nope, they won't. They can't. All right, we're gonna go with this. It's too late. I decided I pulled a color. So I got my 30% and I want my 10%. And we'll start with that. All right. I might even add, if I did a dark green leaf, I would probably go with my Prussian green. So let me grab my Prussian green too, because I'm going to add that into the stones. Why is it when you need a color, you can't find the color? There it is. Okay, we're good now. Okay, so let's work on some stones here. So I'm grabbing my Prussian green because I think I am going to do dark green leaves mixed with some blues. Maybe. I don't know. I'm picturing dark green though. So I'm going to add it into my stones just in case. So I grabbed 30% warm gray, 10% warm gray. I grabbed my sap green light, Prussian green, and then my cream. We are going to go from there and see what happens. So I'm going to take my 30% warm gray. Speaking of audiobooks that are read in duet, does anyone know a website that lists all the ones that are in duet? Because Audible sucks and doesn't tell you, like, they'll say it in the description half the time sometimes. Some of them are nice and the cover of the audiobook says that, but I was curious if anyone knew of a site that listed books that are in duet, because it's a struggle. Like, even if you listen to the preview, this is my warm gray, by the way, you can't always tell if like the whole book's going to be in duet, because sometimes they're only like on one person's POV. You're like, darn it. But I'm tired of wasting my credits and then being like, shoot, it's not duet. So I'm curious if there's a site out there lurking. All right, this is my Prussian green. Just going to add a little bit here and there, see how I like it mixed up in there. I don't know if I do. Hang on a sec. When in doubt, hold up the color you're going to use against all the other colors. Yep, I don't like it. Let's try. Maybe let's try my dark green. Let's see if I like that one better. Nope, I'm not liking that one either. But I like it better than the Prussian green. Yeah, we'll hold on to that one. Okay, so instead of the Prussian, I'm going to use the dark green instead. Oops, I need this back under here. See if I like it once I mix it in a little more. I'm not going to use a ton of it anyway. Okay, then I'm going to grab my sap green light. All right. Okay. Yeah, I found some on Goodreads. Some of the lists were outdated, and so I found a few more, and I left a comment on Goodreads. This is cream, by the way. I left a comment like on the lists and said, hey, add this one. But yeah, I did see a few on Goodreads. All right, grab my 30% warm gray. Hi, Melissa. Might even add some pink to some of the stones. We'll see. I was too lazy to sharpen these ones, so angling for the win. All right, 10% warm gray. Okay, and then I'm going to take my cream. I'm actually going to go over all of this with the cream. kind of acting as my blender on the stonework. My smoosher. Prismas don't blend, they smoosh. There we go. I like that better. Does she have snow? If anyone should have snow, it's me. This is Utah after all. And we don't, by the way. We have frost. Lots of frost. It was seriously like 80 last week. It really threw my kids off because they woke up one day and my daughter runs downstairs in like a tank top and shorts. And I'm like, dude, you should probably look outside because there's ice on like the yard. And then there's my son who just walks out in a tank top and freaking basketball shorts because apparently he's immune to all things cold. But he just has to waltz across the street. So, all right, sap green light. It's actually been nice with the high school across the street. It's not even as busy or chaotic as we all thought it would be. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I had expected it to be pretty like busy all the time or loud, even like with the football game, especially homecoming. And it's really been tame. And even like during peak traffic, you know, when the kids are going to school and whatnot, it's like busy for maybe 10 minutes. But I think it's also because my house faces the front of the school, but we don't face the student parking. So we don't have to deal with them. But it still hasn't been too bad at all. So it's been nice. I do, however, always make sure that I back into my garage just because I don't like backing out onto the street because some of these high schoolers do not know how to yield to cars or know what those double yellow lines mean. Oh my gosh. That part freaks me out a bit. I'm like, hi there. What are you doing? So yeah, I back myself into the garage so that I can get out without nailing someone's Honda. But still, it's not been too bad. And then the police are like always out, so no one speeds on our street. So it's been kind of nice because back in the day, people would go down our street at like 50 miles an hour because there was nothing out here. But now, man, the sheriff is parked out there all the time. They've got to be making bank on these high schoolers. All right, 10% warm gray. Well, I mean, it's a parking lot, but I see the front of the building. So it's the front of the building is what's ugly. I'd rather look at asphalt than that nasty monstrosity across the street. The asphalt would be prettier. It's growing on me slowly, but I'm never going to like fully say, yeah, I like it because it's still orange and brown. Just wrong. It's like a big old tiger looking at me. And their mascot isn't even like a tiger or Bengal. It's a longhorn. They literally fashioned themselves after the college team. It's kind of pathetic, but whatever. All right, and I'm just taking my cream. Coloring me some spots here. Like I said, I'm using the cream kind of just to be a blender right now. All right. What? Let's see. What's a new pencil? I missed that. All right. I don't want to keep going with this. The door is going to be wood. That actually I might actually do that one in browns just because. All right, so let me explain the giveaway because we'll get that going. So basically how the giveaway works is there will be one copy of this book. So it's Johanna's latest and greatest, which Nightbot has probably linked several times by now. So it'll be a giveaway of one copy of this book. So one winner. The winner does have to be in the stream when their name is called. You enter by putting in the keyword. I cannot tell you if Nightbot is actually going to pick people who entered it. We'll see. And then I'll give you a couple minutes to respond that you're here and acknowledge that you've won. But if you're not in the stream and you're picked as a winner and you don't respond before I move on, I'll give you a couple minutes because I know sometimes people are listening but doing other things. But if you don't respond in a few minutes, I am going to draw another name and then you'll just be forfeited. So you do have to be in the stream at the time it's called. You do have to enter the keyword to be entered automatically. And then what I'll be doing is just rolling and picking a winner. And then now it's time for the usual disclaimers and all that yada yada. But the giveaway is for the stream only. So once my stream ends, there will be no entries into the giveaway. So if you're watching this on replay, sorry. You must be able to receive a package from Amazon US. I'm only doing this, sorry for the barking dog. I'm only doing this for those who can receive the book from Amazon US at this time. And then, of course, keep in mind this is sponsored and hosted solely by me, so it is not YouTube, Johanna, or even Amazon. And all that. And I think I covered all my bases there. Yeah, pretty sure. So I'll give you a couple minutes. If you haven't entered the keyword prompt to go ahead, don't do it multiple times because that will automatically disqualify you for spamming it. So just keep that in mind. But I'll give you guys a chance to enter and then we'll roll it and go from there. And caps doesn't matter either, by the way. I totally forgot to mention that. But yeah, caps, no biggie. You can do it lowercase, uppercase. It's not case sensitive. I just put it in caps in Nightbot so it stands out. All right, got my 30% warm gray. Hi, Valerie. Yeah, I do think a nice rich wood color would look nice on that door. Almost bring it together. I do think much darker leaves would work better. So with my dark green. Because if they're too pastel, it's all gonna, the green will blend in with this green back here, and I don't want to do that. All right. And if you don't win, don't worry. You can always buy the copy. It's not that expensive, although I know for some it is. It's worth every penny, though. It's good paper. Okay. And I got my 10% warm gray. Lurking and making dinner. Are you in the UK then? Because it's definitely not dinner time here. I wish it was dinner time, though, because I'm hungry. And I'm not a breakfast eater. I don't know. My husband and kids always insist on making Sunday breakfast when he's not on duty. And I'm just like, do we have to? I just don't want to eat breakfast. Oh, I've noticed the alerts for YouTube are pretty slow because I get them pretty late too. All right, so now I'm taking cream and just blending this all together. Yeah, I think I put the flip through out on Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday because that was the day it released. Oops, sorry, I didn't silence my phone, and of course it goes off. Never rings except when I'm streaming, apparently. Okay, once I finish blending this part out, I'm going to draw a winner. And again, just remember, you have to be in stream and respond. My email address is already pinned at the top of chat, so if you are the winner, you'll just email me and give me your mailing info so I can ship it out tomorrow. And it'll come to you straight from Amazon. That's the other reason you have to be able to get packages from Amazon US. And then we'll wait a bit. And then if the winner doesn't respond or they've gone offline or whatever, we'll pull another winner. And then just, yeah, keep in mind if your name was pulled but you never replied, you do forfeit. And sorry. I always feel bad, but like we can't just sit around. So, okay. Let me move over to Nightbot. Now, let's hope that Nightbot is being good and has picked people who have said the keyword. Because the last few times it's done something wacky and people who haven't even entered, yeah. So, let's hope it does. I'm just going to do a quick check real quick. It looks like it is. All right, let's roll it and let's hope it's being good then. Okay. Oh, see, it is still doing it. It picked the silver leaf, but it shows the silver leaf didn't enter. I hate Nightbot. That is it. Because I don't see... She's not marked as entering. Did you enter? And it just isn't showing on my end? Because normally next to everyone's name. Okay. Then it works. Yay. Because, yeah, it'll normally put a dot next to the person's name that's entered. On yours, there's no dot. Oh, I hate Nightbot. Me and Nightbot aren't friends. All right. Well, as long as you entered and you meant to enter, that works. So congratulations. Because, let's see, last time I streamed, it picked like 2 people that didn't enter. So I was like, interesting. Yes, D. It shows you as entered. I don't know what its deal is. It's been doing this. I'm gonna. It tends to pick who didn't enter. So that's what's been kind of wacky about it. Because I think didn't it pick Shannon last or something like that? I was like, wait, what's going on? Yeah, it's odd. Yeah, it did pick you. And I was like, I don't think she entered for this. I don't remember what I was giving away. I think it was a book. I think it was a Kirby book. I don't know. If it's a new book, I usually try to give away a copy. I don't know. I might have to go back to the whole fun numbers game, but I hate doing that because it can get a little bit wacky. The keyword used to be the easiest way to do it. All right, my warm gray. Really should sharpen this pencil, but okay. And I got my 10% warm gray. I think this will turn out okay. Like I said, I have to add a few more layers to my pumpkin. Not layers per se, but corrections. All right, and then my cream. Because there's a few areas where I want to darken things up and then just blend them together a little bit better, but I want to wait and see how everything else comes out first. And then not bore you guys with the pumpkin all morning. Pumpkins, technically, because these little guys got colored too. And I might darken these ones and make them stand out a little more. All right. I know already I'm probably going to use Distress ink or gelatos for the background, but also like down here for the grass. It'll just make it a lot easier. I just don't feel like sitting there and coloring that in. There's days I'm lazy and I'll color a background in pencil, but ugh, no thanks. All right, that is my pumpkin house so far. It's not even close to done though, but yeah, so for the stonework, not brickwork, the stonework, I'm just going to keep going with those same combos, but I think for the leaves, I'll probably end up doing a dark green once I figure out how exactly, but I'm going to use this dark green and then a few other colors with it, but I think that'll be fun. It'll add some contrast too, and then help the lighter green pop a little bit more. These are Prismacolors, or do you mean which colors I use, like colors? For the stonework, I'm using dark green, cream, 10% warm gray, 30% warm gray, and sap green light. And then for the pumpkin, we used mulberry pink, blush pink, sap green light again, pale sage, and cream. So that's what I did for the pumpkins. But what I'm going to do is call it a day. It's a short stream today, but I haven't streamed in so long that I'm trying to not overwhelm myself. So yeah, we're going to call it a day today, but thanks for hanging out. I got a lot done in an hour and a half. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will catch you guys next week, hopefully. So until next time, bye now.